Hello people, welcome back to another video. Today we are finally back doing another mod showcase because the Atum mod has been updated and is now available for 1.16.5. If you have never played with this mod before, it adds a whole brand new dimension to the game, which is amazingly done, so detailed, so varied, and today we're going to give a quick overview of the dimension and all of its features. So without further ado, let's get started. Before we start this video, I'd like to real quickly plug my Discord. We have a fast growing community and it's very well run, so we'd love it if you would join us and help participate in our community. Also, YouTube analytics show that 84% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. If you enjoy this, please consider subscribing. We're doing consistent uploads now, and I'm going to be getting a better setup soon, so stay tuned for that. Alright, Atum 2, Return to the Sands. Around this island, I have decorated all of the plants from the dimension. There are some very cool vines. There's the palm tree, which grows dates. Ooh, yeah. Let's go, some dates. And yeah, the dimension's very, very cool, and there's no point in staying out here in the overworld when we can just go check it out. Let's take a look inside of this chest. In here, we have quite a few things. First things first, we have some spawn eggs. Let's grab these. These do not spawn in the overworld, they only spawn in Atum, but I thought it would be worthy enough to show you. Right here, we have one of the basic resources of the mod. This is the scarab. You can craft it with 3 gold and 1 diamond, or if you have access to Atum, 3 gold and a crunchy scarab. You can get yourself a crunchy scarab by killing one of these scarab beetles, which will spawn in Atum. Let's real quickly dispatch that. And yeah, this can be used as a food source, or it can be used to craft this. Alright, so now that we've taken a look at the scarab, let's just grab the item, and I'll show you how to get to the dimension. So this right here is what the portal structure is going to look like. The stairs aren't part of it, so you can just build it like this. We need sandstone going up like this, 1 by 2 block pillars, and in the middle there should be 9 blocks of water. And once you got that ready, grab your scarab, toss it in, and you are ready to travel to the land of Atum. Alright, so here we are in the barren land of Atum. As you can see, everything is dried up, it's desert-like, and there are barbarians and enemies all over the place. We are safe right where we are right now, but you should keep in mind anytime you try to play survival that this place is not forgiving, not easy to survive in, and yeah, you can't even see very far. So this mod is so expansive and gigantic that it's basically impossible to check out everything that it adds, but I'll leave some of it up to you and I'll show you a lot of the basics. So right here we have some lanterns. These are crafted by using special blocks which have the abilities of the Egyptian gods. I'll leave you on your own to figure out how the God Forge system works, but I recommend using a recipe mod like just enough items for all of the stuff. Alright, so starting off right here we have a special armor set. You can't have ancient Egypt without mummies, and obviously there's a mummy right here. If we look in this chest, there are a few things to show off too. So let's real quickly grab this spawn egg. This right here is the mummy, which is an aggressive mob that spawns during the nighttime in a tomb and can be spawned by the bosses, which you will see later. That spawn, it is going to burn. Yeah, there we go. It's going to burn in the sunlight, and they're pretty easy to kill. But they're interesting enemies, and they give you wither when they attack you, so yeah. Not a great time for a sandstorm to start. Alright, that time it did happen. So, mummies have a chance to drop cloth scraps, which look just like this. Got a load in here. And cloth scraps can be used to craft a very simple armor of the mod. Mummy armor, which you can see the full set right here. You can also get it from mummified fish, and I'll talk about how to get these in a bit, but yeah, these are really cool. Mummy armor isn't the best as far as an armor set goes, but I think it looks cool enough to wear. Alright, so if you want to make some improved versions of that, you will need the cloth scraps and stick it inside one of these. This is the spinning wheel, and they can be crafted like this. And just spin it, you stick it in the top, and then you spin it. You need a few different pieces, but when you're done, you get yourselves some linen thread. Craft together 3 linen threads and you get yourself a bolt of linen cloth, which can then be used to make wanderer armor. Here's the chest plate. So once you've done that, you got your full set right here. Wanderer armor obviously looks pretty cool. The boots are hard to see. Stick it all on. And there you go, now you're a true desert wanderer. This will increase visibility in Atum by a small amount, so it'll be easier to see in the distance. Think this crap is too weak to wear in the harsh deserts of Atum? Well, you can combine it with gold, diamond, or iron armor, and you'll get yourself the desert armor. This is the same effects as the Wanderer armor, except now it's reinforced and gives you some very nice protection. Alright, so we've covered how you're supposed to protect yourself with some armor in the tomb, but how are you supposed to eat? Well, pretty simple. This mod adds 2 really cool new kinds of crops, which you can see right here. We have them growing in the actual game. You will need to find an oasis biome, because there's no other way to access water in a tomb unless you go very far underground. Oh, there are some enemies attacking us. Wonderful. These guys will spawn everywhere in the tomb, and they're very annoying, believe me. Alright, so we got some of the emmer. Let's grab some of this. This is flax, which also has a cool use, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. So since not a lot of emmer grew, we should have to take some out of our backup stock. Emmer can be crafted just like wheat into bales, and there we go. So the next thing that you're going to need to craft is a quern. The recipe is a stick of some kind, limestone, and limestone slabs. Limestone's very common, it's very easy for you to get, and obviously the slabs are just crafted with 3 limestone. Alright, so once you got that quern set up, stick it on the ground, and you can do many things with it. This is used to grind items. So the way this works is that you can click on it with the items, and you'll fill it up. Then grab your open hand and just click on it, hold it down, and it'll grind out whatever comes with the resource. Now, we've turned some of our emmer into emmer flour. Now, if we combine this with the water, we have to do it slowly so that we don't lose any of the water. Once we're done, we have ourselves some emmer dough. Then shove it inside of a furnace. This is a limestone furnace. It's exclusive to Atum. Shove it inside, and you can get yourself some emmer bread, which is a fine and sustainable food source. And as you can guess, the quern can be used to grind up multiple things. You can use it on some sugar cane and get yourself some sugar. You can use it on some blaze rods and get yourselves some blaze powder, or grind up some gravel and you can get yourselves a guaranteed large amount of flint. Alright, so now that we've gone over some of the basic features, we can check out the items of interest. This mod adds a whole lot of items that you can loot from structures, and they're all really cool, really unique. There are so many of them that I can't even fit a lot of them in the chest, but you can see a lot of them right here, and I just kept some out that are interesting so that I can demonstrate to you guys like what they do. Alright, so we got ourselves a mummy. So here's Horus's Ascension, which I really like. It'll launch the enemy up into the air. It can do some damage. Didn't do it there, but yeah. There's this. This is Montu's Strike, which you can knock back enemies with. There's this weapon, which will do extra damage to undead enemies, just like this one. Isis's Duality. These are all named after Egyptian gods. This one will shoot a pair of arrows at the enemy. Here we have Tefnut's Rain. I love this one. If you shoot it straight up, it will turn into 4 different arrows and rain back down. This one can be hard to like use, but I bet if you practice it in survival mode, you'll figure out how to use it well. And Poot's Hunger, this is really interesting. It'll give you hunger when you attack enemies, and then when you kill them, it will restore that hunger. You didn't really see it there, but it's a really cool feature. And this is one of my favorite ones. It's the most unique. Tefnut's Call. Throw it at something and it'll light the entire area on fire with a strike of lightning, and it'll fly back to you just like a trident. Alright, let's grab a few more of these to check out. Alright, so the bows always seem to have the coolest features out of these weapons, but we'll try all these out. We have Shoe's Breath, which is, oh, I love this. This has a very quick draw, so you can essentially bow spam fully charged shots with it. Alright, Jeb's Might. This one will have a slam attack, which it's hard to kind of demonstrate. Ra's Fury, I believe Ra's the sun god. This one will light enemies on fire when fully charged, and it's very powerful. Seth's Sting, hit an enemy with this, and they'll be... There we go. Hit an enemy with this, and they will become poisoned. And finally, like, this one's probably the best. Montu's Blast. Shoot it at an enemy, everything blows up. Like, come on. That's the best. A few more items to show off right here in this chest, and this is one of the most useful loots. This is Atum's Bounty, which is the only fishing rod that can catch the unique fish of Atum. I have all 4 types here. Each of them can give a raw material that's very cool. Stick a jeweled fish inside of any furnace with some coal, fuel, whatever, you know, and it will smelt down to get you some nice golden nuggets. Very useful. The other 3 are used for crafting. Take a Forsaken fish, becomes ectoplasm. Take a mummified fish, it becomes claw scraps, and take a skeletal fish, and it becomes dusty bones. Wondering what ectoplasm does, and here we have some awkward potions. Shove ectoplasm inside of a brewing stand, and you get yourself some useful potions of invisibility. Small feature to show off, but each of these is a little display case made of the different materials that Atum has, and each of these holds inside of it a different kind of item. You shift-click on it, all of the resources will come out, and in each of these I have some charms. These have minimal effects on the player, but they can give you a lot of special abilities. Stick it on, and you can get yourself some buffs, maybe a little extra health. They have very minimal effects, but they're always helpful. Alright, now is the part that you've all been waiting for. The creatures, the mobs, the enemies, they're all really great. I have some different varieties that I've sorted based on personal beliefs, and we'll check these all out. Alright, we are all armored and equipped, ready to fight some creatures. Let's take a look. Alright, so here we have some of our living creatures, and a lot of the resources that come with them. Won't spoil all these, but let's start out with the desert wolf. Oh, dang. So these are incredibly aggressive, but they can still be tamed. So these are all small, so you can't really see it. But desert wolves behave just like regular wolves. You can tame them with dusty bones, and just like this. And you can have yourself some pet desert wolves. And then there's a very rare chance that this will happen, but sometimes desert wolves will spawn giant, like this one. Let me real quickly get it tamed with some dusty bones. Come on. Camels will spit at desert wolves, by the way. Guess this one's a bit hungry. So if you hop on top of a desert wolf, you can ride these. The large ones only. You can stick on a saddle, and you can ride them around, and you can stick on some armor, and they'll be reinforced. And you got yourself covered with a very, very cool transportation system. And yeah, desert wolf. The Atum dimension has many versions of vanilla mobs. We also have the desert rabbit, which aren't too different from normal rabbits, but they're still very cool. Kill them, they drop rabbit meat, so they are a source of food here in Atum. Here we have the serval, which act just like ocelots, and you can tame them the same way with some of the Atum fish. And yeah, I just really love these patterns. They're very cool creatures. There's the quail, which are the equivalents of chicken. I actually have quail near my house, and these act just like they do. They'll run away from the player, but you know, kill them, you get some meat, and you can cook it up. Here's what the cooked quail looks like. Finally, maybe the coolest, here's the tarantula. These are actually quite aggressive, and they'll give the player weakness. So let's real quickly get rid of this tarantula right here. So this one didn't do it, but there's a chance that tarantulas can drop tarantula mandibles. Then if you stick your tarantula mandibles inside of a brewing stand with, awkward potions, you guys all know how brewing works, you can get yourself some nice, delicious, nutritious potions of weakness. Also, this isn't one I showed, because these are everywhere, but there are camels that the mod adds. They look pretty cool, they have a few different colors, and you can tame them just like horses. They'll spit at you like llamas, but then you can equip yourself saddle, camel armor, carpets, and some crates, and you can ride around with storage on your camel. So this next crate has what I would consider to be enemies, and there's quite a few of these. Let's just grab a lot of these. Alright, so some of these you've already seen, because a lot of these just wander around the deserts trying to attack players, and oh boy, there sure are a lot of them. We have the barbarian right here, which actually drops this great sword that I'm holding right now. My wolf's gonna help me kill them. They're not very dangerous, but still be wary of those. The assassin, which is way less common than the other enemies, but it moves faster, and it can poison the player with its knife, so that's the assassin. The nomad, which has a bow, this one's really annoying, believe me. But yeah, kill it, it can give its bow sometimes, and some arrows. The sergeant, which is the melee nomad of the realm. Our wolf's gonna help us dispatch this one, but yep. Very annoying, but there you go. Let's grab a few more before we move on to these. Alright, so the last enemy is the brigand, which looks just like this. It's real cool. Oh, okay, let's real quickly take that one down. And the rest of these are all more unique enemies. So these are very hard to come across, but they will spawn in structures, and some of the bosses will spawn them. Once again, we'll get to that later. These are the stone guards. They move slowly, but they have a load of health, and they do a load of damage. They're also joined by the stone warden, which is a lot like a golem, and will also move slowly and try to attack the player. But yeah, these things have a load of health. Let's real quickly dispatch them. Alright, so that killed me twice, but you can really see how those are really strong. And none of those dropped it, but these enemies have a chance to drop a resource called Kumite. Craft 9 together and you can make some blocks. Alternatively, craft it with a diamond. You can make yourself a Kumite head. Then grab yourself these blocks, build up like this, make yourself that little cross pattern, and then stick the face on, and boom, you've got yourself your own stone warden, which will defend you as if it were a golem. The rest of these are all enemies that will spawn at night and will function like, zombies, skeletons, those creatures will in the overworld. There's the bone storm, which is kind of like a blaze, except it shoots bones at you instead. You can see that, yep. Let's real quickly kill this. It'll drop those bones. That one didn't, but it has the chance to drop those bones. Then we have the Forsaken, which is mummy-like, and the Wraith, which is kind of like a ghost. And you can kind of see these are like pretty like cannon fodder enemy types. So none of them dropped it, but a lot of the wandering nomads, like all these enemies that you see outside, have a chance to drop dirty coins. Anything in the mod that's dirty, you throw it inside of water, and it'll automatically clean itself. So we can turn all of these into gold coins, although there's a chance of breaking, that's why we got 19 out of 20. Hard to demonstrate the trades here, but these have the ability to trade gold coins for a lot of useful resources here in the desert. Finally, in this chest, we have the last two. The sarcophagus, which is just something cool you can find inside of tombs. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But we have the two bosses that this mod adds. Alright, so a lot of these bosses are incredibly difficult. Like, you need very, very well enchanted, well done gear. You might even want to tag along a friend to fight some of these bosses, but let's start out by checking out the Bandit Warlord. I obviously have some allies. This one is not as hard as the other one, and I have some buffs. I got regeneration speed, which I've given myself through commands. Yeah, let's fight this Warlord. You can see, I am taking some damage, not a load, but these are still definitely a force to be reckoned with. Okay, our Golem is helping us out with this guy. So yeah, just some XP. They don't generally drop a load, but that was the Warlord. Then the other one, which this one will no doubt be much more difficult. This is the Pharaoh. They can spawn as any number of colors. This one spawned like blackish purple, but these are very powerful and they're very hard to fight. Let's try to dispatch of this one. Oh wow, okay. Alright, our wolf is helping us out, our nice big old desert wolf. But yeah, you can really see like these pharaohs are very hard to fight. This is one of the reasons that you should tame wolves. Just spawned in a mummy for us to fight against. Alright, we're about to take care, and the Pharaoh is gone. They will drop some kind of charm, and that is how you get those. Very hard to fight, but I do recommend it. And finally, definitely something that any survivor would want, now, especially now that there's a giant raging sandstorm, is very, very buff armors that the mod adds. These will drop just like those very rare loots, and it's almost impossible to get a full set. But each of these has some different benefits, some different downfalls, and they're both incredibly powerful. Both of them have increased visibility, so, you know, giant sandstorm, but you can still see pretty well through it with this armor on. This is the Atum armor set, and right here we have ourselves the Raw, which is my personal favorite. I really like the way that this one looks, but stick it all on, and yeah. There you go. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join my Discord for a community. Follow my Twitch. I'm going to start streaming on there soon. And yeah, I'll be doing more Amber Leaf uploads. I have some very exciting things coming out for that. So stay tuned. I'll be doing some more mod showcases. And without further ado, goodbye.